this, or me? Are you or me?
Hi, I'm Jennifer with Harper Therapy.
I'm Shaman.
Not falling for that this time.
All right, fair enough. Anyway, we're here to talk a little bit more about relationships.
Yes.
Right? And so what are we talking about today?
So today I want to talk about increasing positive time in your relationship. I've been talking this whole month about avoiding conflict and tools to help engage more and discuss communication more. But this time I wanted to go on to more of a positive and be like, if you're avoiding communication, maybe that positive time is lacking. So I want to just give some tools of how we can just focus on the positive and increase that.
And you put together some pretty cool things here. I mean, I have the advantage of looking at it before we sit down, but I was like, oh, yeah, these are pretty good. But so you've got like 5 things listed here.
Yeah.
And why don't you go ahead and start, and then we'll just kind of talk through.
Sounds good. So the first point I wanted to make is make time for gratitude. So what this means is if your partner does something that makes you feel good, makes you feel supported, or just really made your day, take time to let them know. Be like, I really appreciate how you supported me with my work, or
or just day to day. Hey, I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Right. It's amazing to think how far that can go in any relationship, let alone like your most intimate relationships. But I mean, being thankful for things and having gratitude to things, it almost is like, it almost shifts your perspective.
Yeah.
And in a relationship, it can really kind of shift that.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah. And I think we forget to let our partners know that we appreciate them.
Right.
Like we just go along our day, but sometimes I'm thinking for my husband, I'm like, I could have told him that, like, I really appreciated when he did that.
And I think we all could do that more.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly, me and Yolanda, I know that I could do that a lot more. Yolanda, you could do it a lot more.
That goes for you, Bryant. We turn this into what you're doing wrong,
right,
partner.
You're doing wrong. We went from positive things you could do to spend time together to my partner and what you're doing wrong. Anyway, what's the next one?
Make time in your day to do a check-in with your partner. So this can be maybe you guys eat dinner together, maybe it's before bed, but I usually encourage couples to take that time to really slow down, ask them, how was your day? Let them know maybe how they supported you, going to the gratitude, maybe let them know how you'd like to be supported today. It's really just a place for you guys to really connect with each other and feel heard.
Me and Yolanda joke about this one a lot because like we'll ask each other, how was your day? And usually it's when we're walking the dogs in the evening, and I'm like, or what she'll say is, what was the best part of your day? And I'll be like, well, just being with you. And she's like, that's a cop-out answer, So we're always like challenging each other to come up with like meaningful things to check in, And just like gratitude, this is another one that can really benefit your relationship and kind of shift the polarity of things being negative to like positive.
Yeah, exactly. Doing like more of like a positive check-in with each other.
Right. I think it's important. And just like gratitude, we take it for granted.
Yeah,
we don't do it enough.
Yeah, I see a lot of couples just going throughout their day, not necessarily connecting, just kind of doing their life, especially when kids happen.
Oh my gosh,
It even harder because it's hard for you to slow down and find that time to just be a couple. Yeah,
and once kids happen, all of these things have to become very intentional.
Yeah.
Because once kids happen, all of the stresses, all of the struggles, all of the scheduling problems you think you have before that, that's nothing compared to like when you have kids.
Yeah.
And especially as those kids grow, because then all of a sudden you find out you have multiple agendas in your house. Everybody's got their own schedule. It's crazy. So what else we got?
Scheduling date night. So that kind of goes in with the theme of how we're talking about kids. And even if you don't have kids, making time for play is just as important as making time for work. Right. So maybe that's just taking time to have like a glass of wine together or a non-alcoholic beverage of like some tea. I know some people are still quarantining, so you can plan dates like in your backyard, in your house. Maybe some people are still feeling more comfortable to get out of the house, so maybe going for a walk, planning an activity. It doesn't have to be something fancy.
Right.
It's just a time for you guys to have fun with each other.
And again, a time that's like intentional and set aside, and this is what we're doing. It could be the two of you sitting on the park bench talking.
Exactly.
I do think there's something to getting out of your norm.
Yeah.
To that, like, you know, whether it's going out to eat or whether it's going to a park for a picnic or whether it's just going for a walk together, something that's not like your everyday.
Yeah.
You know, it should, not that I'm saying it needs to be special, because it doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to be, you know.
Yeah.
It just should be something that pulls you out of your norm.
Yeah, I agree. Something that requires maybe just like a little bit more creativity.
Right. And actually, that's a really good one. Like sitting down doing a puzzle together, or, you know, being creative together. Like sometimes, you know, Linda and I will paint together, and we're terrible at it, but, you know, it's fun, and it engages a different part of your brain, and it engages a different part of your communication with your partner. You know, as you kind of, they really did this bad, or this is terrible, look at it, and you kind of laugh and joke, and
yeah, exactly.
It can be positive.
Yeah, right. You can joke around.
Right.
So the next one I want to mention is simply validate each other's feelings.
Right.
Take time for when your partner is talking to you and telling you about their day, or telling you about a struggle they had, or maybe even telling you about a win that they had for the day.
Right.
Really take time to validate. Use some of those feelings words and be like, wow, it sounds like you really had a great day.
Right.
Or, I'm so happy that you felt appreciated, or wow, that sounds like a really hard day. Like, how can I support you? By doing this, it kind of helps partners feel understood. And when you feel understood by someone, that really helps that connection. You feel seen.
Right.
And that's a really powerful
You feel seen,
step.
You feel heard, you feel validated, you feel like you exist.
Exactly.
Right.
And that really helps intimacy of all kinds. I don't mean just sexual intimacy. I just mean intimacy, like emotional intimacy.
Right.
I feel like, for me, there's no better feeling than just feeling like, wow, this person really gets me.
Right. Right.
And
so this last one cracked me up, because I was like, oh great, I'm going to sit here with Jen and we're going to talk about this.
Listen, I want to do a whole one on sex, but the last one is make time for sex.
Right.
Like date night, sex is an important part of a relationship. So like we were saying before, if you have kids, a really busy schedule, you may even have to sit down and have a discussion. I know this doesn't sound very sexy or fun, but sometimes people actually have to talk about, like, when can we fit sex in?
I can tell you without a doubt, as kids start and schedules get crazy and life, me and Yolanda call it the messy middle, you know, once all the kids you start having kids and they're doing their thing and life is crazy, and the least priority in it all seems to be like your relationship with your partner, and that's when it's absolutely the most important to schedule those times.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if it's, hey, Friday nights are our date night and sex night, whatever it is, you know, and then someone's going to watch the kids for us, or whatever that takes, or whatever that looks like, you have to be intentional about this.
Yeah.
Because what's the biggest thing? I mean, probably 80% of all the couples that come in, what's the complaint from the guy?
They're not getting enough sex.
Right. Not getting enough sex. And then the woman is usually like, well, we don't have that connection.
Yeah.
Right? There's no connection. And if you can't put some of these things into practice, that is like killing all of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So these are perfect things to combat that lack of connection, lack of sex, all those things that women want in a relationship, guys want in a relationship. And not every relationship's the same, but I would say probably the vast majority, that's very common. Right?
I would say, yeah, that's probably about 90% of couples I see is the woman wants more emotional connection, and the man wants more sex.
And it's like they're on two different planets and they're not communicating, they're not connecting at all to get both of those needs fulfilled.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like Sean was saying, these tools before number 5 will help you have more sex. So there's that.
And then, you know, I mean, to guys, number 5 is very important, and I think to women, number 5 is very important as well. But you know, once you start having kids, gone are the days where you just spontaneously have awesome sex in the laundry room floor. It doesn't happen anymore, right? Kids are running around your house and all that kind of stuff. So you got to be intentional about these things.
Yeah, I agree. And it might be that you both do want to have more sex. I've had people come in and say, I want to have more sex, but we just haven't been having it. And they're both on the same page. So it's like we need to maybe stop trying to be like, we're going to be spontaneous and fit it in.
Right.
Put it on your schedule.
Right. Absolutely. You know, and if it's sending the kids to grandma and grandpa's house or a neighbor's house for a couple hours, it's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, the most important thing you can do for your relationship is prioritize your relationship, even above your kids. I know it sounds crazy, But when all of that works and flows, it pilfers into everything else and it works and flows.
I agree, because your identity isn't just being a parent.
Right, 100%. So if we can help you in any of these things, which I guarantee you we can, we see a lot of this stuff here, give us a call at 813-434-3639, and you guys have a great day. It was fun sitting here talking about sex with Jen, so
Bye.
you gonna hit the button and close us out?
Yes.